Hi, welcome back. I'm going to teach you today how to make money in your 30s. So your 30s are your high income years, usually your 30s and 40s. So what are you doing to make money? What are you doing to keep money? And are you investing money? We're going to talk about how to make it in this video. So first of all, let's talk about how do you make money? When I talk about making money, it's not in a job. See, what we're trained is occupational training is what I call it, right? And you have these inherited money behaviors. So most people are taught, if I need money, I got to go get a job. If I need more money, I'm going to get another job. If you're listening to Susie Orman and Dave Ramsey, oh my gosh, they're going to tell you never be an entrepreneur. They're wrong. They want you in a safe box, but they also never promise millionaire status. I want you to make money because I want you a millionaire. My promise is 3 to 5 years. So how do you do it? You're in your 30s. You say, what do I do? Well, first of all, if you have a job and you're watching this, don't quit it right now. But let's start thinking about, what do you know? What's your skill set? What is up here? What'd you go to school to do? Are you still doing the thing you went to school to do? I got a finance degree. I am still in that category, and I'm still doing what I went to school to do. But a lot of people, 82%, don't do what they went to school to do. What have you done to make money in the past? Right? So I have a skill set analyzer, over 1,000 ideas that are going to teach you to pick something. Now, I love service-based businesses because they're quick, right? And you can do the service, get paid, and you're out. There's not a long-term commitment. Now, if you want to carry a product, you can carry a product. Now, I carried products. One of my first things that I did is I was a master distributor for Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow Game. In addition, I also sold for Brian Tracy, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Sandy Bakken. I sold tons of people's stuff. So I did have products, but I didn't carry the inventory. They carried the inventory. I did the sale, and I made 50% of the money. So you can sell other people's stuff. So a lot of times when you think about being an entrepreneur, you think, well, I don't have stuff to sell. Well, you can sell other people's stuff. It's called being an affiliate, being an associate. You can do it that way. But if you have something to sell, and think about what you know. A lot of you probably know how to do some digital currency. I have a guy, he's actually 33 years old. He's on his way to becoming a millionaire. I think he started with maybe $1,000. I saw his portfolio yesterday. It's a true story, $170,000. And he did it in trading digital currencies because that's just how his mind works and he knows how to do it. And he did it all from his little phone on an app. I have another guy in his 30s who loves real estate. And so he has partnered with other folks and used other people's money. Now, how do you use other people's money? Well, you 30-year-olds, you're going to look up to people that are in their late 50s, 60s, 70s. They have things called 401ks. And if they've left their job, guess what? Usually they're invested horribly in the stock market or mutual funds, even worse. So you could go to those folks, which is what I did, right? In my late 20s and early 30s, and I asked folks to self-direct their 401k. So they self-directed their 401k, and guess what? I took that money on a loan, and I took the money and I went and I bought houses. I fixed and flipped all through Oklahoma, Norman, Oklahoma. Oklahoma City was my millionaire market. In my 30s, I was 34 when I became a millionaire, so I love the 30s conversation. But I used other people's money, and I literally reached up to people who had left their jobs, had huge 401ks. One guy had over, 1.7 million, and I borrowed just over $1 million. Yep, little old me, right? Borrowed the money, took the money, bought some houses, remodeled the houses, paid him back, kept the spread. So lots of ways to make money. So you can have it be as rigorous as you want. You can have it be as simple as you want. I can tell you what's up here. A lot of people need your brains. Let me tell you another one. This is a super fun story. This amazing device called your phone. Guess how many little apps are on this phone that older people do not know how to use, at all. So I have a guy in his 30s. He's actually, I think, 34, 35 years old. And he sells phone app services. And he just made this up in one of my workshops. So he'll sell you for $50. I think he's actually gone up maybe to $100. You can call and he will walk you through, depending on how much money you've paid, the number of apps. So if you have an app on your phone and you don't know how to use it, which, by the way, a lot of your grandparents are probably these people and they'd love to support you and all of their friends. If you go to the 50 and up active living areas and there's say 50 homes there, you could get 50 clients. And this is exactly what he did. He went and got all these clients paying anywhere between $50, I think his highest is $250. And they just call him and they say, hey, I have an iPhone or I have an Android or whatever they have, and I need to know how to use this app. And he will just teach them how to use the app, and they can have so many phone calls. Now, the interesting thing about that business is he's making thousands. He's making well over $10,000 a month because he's doing other additional production, but he's doing all just tech services. Just call me, I'll tell you what to do. Making over $10,000 a month. I can promise you, it's crazy. But he called me back probably months after he started getting the business. He said, Loral, people aren't calling me. What should I do? Should I give them their money back? I said, oh, no, you don't give them their money back. Like, they've already paid you. You just want to send out some text reminders and say, hey, Susie, you have 2 more calls left. Sam, you have 4 more calls left. Just let them know. And he said, well, I did that. Still, they aren't using it. He said, it feels weird. It feels like I got free money. I said, welcome to being an entrepreneur. A lot of people are going to buy your services. You will be shocked how many people don't fulfill. Now, you don't want that energy going into it, but a lot of you don't worry about overselling your services and that you're going to get so buried that you're unavailable to do it. That's not going to happen. I can promise you. And guess what? If it does happen, you're going to hire some more team and outsource it. So there's tons of ways for you to make money in your 30s. So while you have a job, if you have a job, just keep it for a minute. And then I want you starting to make money. Like, think about it every day. That's the mindset I need you in. Every day, I want you up and making cash. Minimum $50 a day. What are you going to do? So I have some girls. They actually sell Mary Kay, and they do what's called the 2 lipsticks a day. They make $50 a day selling 2 lipsticks a day. And you say, well, that's boring. Well, think about it. That's 2 sales a day, $25. And they have made $250 in a week. That's $1,000 in a month, and that's 40 buyers. To find 40 buyers in a database is phenomenal. So now they don't just stop there. They go back to the 40, say, how are the lipsticks? And they say, fabulous. Say, would you like the whole next facial line? And that's 220 or 250. I'm just making up the numbers, but you get the principle. So then they sell, say they only sell half of them. Then now they have 20 buyers. They sell to the next level, right, at 250. Then this is where it gets really good. I said, well, what if you actually did their facial? You'd actually did their makeup. You do a little bit, whatever, facial products you want to use on them. And so now they're charging like hundreds of dollars for their services. I mean, think about it. You're paying an esthetician like to go in and get a facial. Why don't you just do it for them? And you could do it in their home, typical Mary Kay style. I know new skin folks do it. I have people in network marketing and direct sales companies making 6-7 figures a month, and they started 2 lipsticks a day. So what is it that you can do right now to sell $50 a day, quick, and you are not going to spend all that money. We'll get to that on a later video coming up on how you're going to spend your money and invest your money when you make it. But right now, let's get all money-making revenue muscles generated. So if you're enjoying this, I want you to comment below. I want to know, of all the things I've talked about, what's the most inspiring to you? What was interesting to you? What are you going to do about it is what I really want to know. Comment below, and I take those comments. I'm going to bring them right back to our video on our channels and keep working with you. All right, so how do you make money with other people's money? So I had a woman who was in her 30s who had 2 kids. She was pretty close to welfare in her 30s. Her husband had left, right? The kid's father has left, and here she was. And her idea was job after job after job. I said, no more jobs. Pick the job with the most money and least amount of time. Now we're going to go over here and focus. And she actually loved to clean houses. And I said, then you should go clean houses. And her kids were a little bit older. And I said, they could come along and they could actually work for you. And she's like, I don't want to clean houses forever. I said, I didn't say forever. I said, just start. So she started cleaning houses, and again, went to some great neighborhoods where I said, don't just get one client, literally flyers or knock on the door and ask them if you could support their family by cleaning their house. People do not want to clean their house, and she liked to do it. So let's fast forward. She got to a place where she needed to buy some supplies. So she took out what's called a hard money loan, and she actually went back to one of her clients and said, I need some more vacuums. I need the supplies. I actually am going to start hiring more and more people. So she needed almost cleaning kits, call it, where she needed, and she was going to clean, I think she got 5 or 7 cleaning kits, and each of them were going to cost $500 to $700 for all the supplies, all the cleaning equipment, so her crews could go out and do it. Fast forward, she's a millionaire. She cleans. She's got a massive cleaning company. I don't even know how many crews she has now, but she took a hard money loan out from one of her clients. And so this is the lesson. The lesson is ask. So many of you, you're sitting right in front of you on money-making opportunities and people who have money who love to help you. So you might have to coach them along a little bit, but literally a client of hers gave her money. I think it was almost $50,000, $100,000. She got a lot. She paid him 10%, which is a 10% convertible note. And these are what do they convert into? Well, they actually became partners, and they funded the whole company. They did the whole website. They bought the marketing team. So this one client, one investor, became a gold mine for her. So you can do this too. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to give you an amazing gift. Now, I never give this gift away. Usually you got to go buy it. It's my Millionaire Maker book. So only on this video, if you click on the link, are you going to get my book. Now, here's what I want you to do. Once you get the book, I want you to read it. And what you're doing is there's 7 stories that became millionaires. And seriously, they're all millionaires. I started with all of them, and they all have a very different runway, meaning some spent it all, lifestyle junkies, some overpaid taxes, some have lazy assets, some are not incorporated and had a sole proprietor. So find the story that's most interesting and like yours, and then follow the blueprint. Our goal is to make you a millionaire in 3 to 5 years.